Hey guys, welcome back to another Command & Conquer 3 Kane's Wrath video commentary, and I know what you're thinking, Green Zero, where have you been? I've been on a bit of a break, but I have been streaming. If you're not subscribed to my Twitch stream, I'm doing that quite often now, so head on over to Twitch. I'm a lot active there at the moment, but I'll still be doing my best to bring you some videos. I definitely want to keep making videos, but busy time of year. Stay tuned to the channel. I promise there's more stuff coming. We have a 2v2 here for you today on the left-hand side of Fountain, playing as the Nod faction here, the green Nod faction. It's Worker Ant. He's actually marked of Kane, sorry. And we can see his ally over here, TheGuest, aka Drive Russian here, playing another Nod faction. And he's just spamming beacons on the opposite side of the map. And we have, on the opposite side, we have GENPeanut here playing as a Nod faction as well. Had a brief look into this player, possibly Smurf, but I didn't really look too far into it. But we'll keep the name as GENPeanut here. And his ally is going to be Senna, that's right, it's Senna, playing as a GDI faction here. He's going to be GDI vanilla, and we're missing a bit of the scouting phase here. Not sure how Worker Ant can possibly lose this fight. He's not going to. He's got Awakened squads. He's actually built an additional Awakened squad as well, so he's actually constructed these from the barracks, obviously looking to go forward and just completely crush any attempt. We have a Raider buggy coming out as well by Drive Russian. He's going to be driving it across the map, no pun intended. He's going to be entering the enemy base over here. Power micro coming down from Gen here, trying to get get the buildings up as quick as possible. Not necessarily power micro that just yet, really, but kind of want to get the actually a little bit of a different build there. So normally you just want to pump out the harvester regardless, but going to go for a power plant and going to get EMP. That's annoying. So he EMPs both the power plants, just further slowing down the build. Tower will drop and Senna will kill the single unit first, which is good because he probably could have got the full squad, but other than that, it would have been better to kill the squad you know you can kill. Bikes are coming in now. We have these bikes moving around. They will pop those units there. These are Worker Ant's bikes, so I didn't even notice those sneak across the map, and they will be just backing up. Battle markers raging. It's just the Raider buggy giving the MCV a hard time. Scouts chilling in the middle of the map here. We didn't cover all the factions correctly, so Gen is going to be Nod vanilla here, and Worker Ant's mock, and I do believe that Drive Russian is going to be vanilla Nod as well. We'll just have to double check that actually quickly before there's too much shooting going on. No, he's double marked of Kane, so it is double marked of Kane. Senna and his ally here, Gen, were able to successfully defend the area here. Couldn't get his MCV as far across as you want. Generally you want it over here, especially with the double mock. You're going to have double clicks, so you want to make sure this is spread out. Senna may have to pack up and move his MCV again. He could very easily move it here because a lot of people like to place a ref on the opposite side. Makes it really difficult for Catalyst Missile to get a lot of value. It's something that a lot of people do enjoy doing. Raider buggies coming down here. Sorry, not Raider buggies. Bikes coming down here. Senna will be rallying as well. He's got a harvester there. That Raider buggy may just get gunned down. No, not quite. He's got these two units here. Drive, like I've said before, the Russians, especially Drive, plays a little bit like an AI. He's just got scattered units. I mean, these units can't really do too much. They're just being annoying, and Senna just has to do something about them. So he's got to send these pitbulls back to deal with it, and he will be able to deal with it. No, he's actually not going to worry about finishing those off. There's a battle marker over here. Senna's harvesters, because of his bikes, because of his pitbulls up in the top, he didn't actually have any defense, and he lost a harvester there. And that's critical when you're playing someone like Senna who loves the eco. Pulls that harvester back momentarily, and will get it to refine here. Senna, probably the most skilled player in this game. Between these four players. Oh, actually, no, Drive's probably pretty good, but Drive versus Senna, I think that would be a good series. That would definitely be interesting. But in this situation here, both of them have an ally which seems capable. GENPeanut seems to be pretty capable. Worker Ant we know is capable. And these guys here, it's just a lot of small skirmishes, what you'd expect to see. Units moving through the middle of the map here, they will get the scout off. Worker Ant's actually going to come through. Driver's got some Scorpion tanks here as well, and it looks like Gen will be defending. Meanwhile, Senna's pushing the blue tip. He wants to secure that. He does have rifleman squads here, although he does actually have the garrison, so he's trying to get these rockets into the garrison here. And he's got the other garrison, so that's going to make it difficult for Senna to really secure the blue Tiberium, because we have double rockets and we have rocket mock squads. So any harvester which attempts to go to the blue tip field will take gunfire from both of those, and that's not going to be good. Meanwhile, Drive Russian just losing the last of his tanks here. Gen does have a notable force. Would imagine a second MC. So not second MCV. Just bit early for second MCV. Second War Factory would have been down. We can probably just have a look. Only one War Factory. Yeah. Oh, it's actually three. There's two more on the expansion here. Meanwhile, Senna coming up behind these Scorpion tanks now. Worker Ant and Drive are both going for Scorpions. They're a bit spaced out here. and they will get picked apart from both sides. Look at this, Senna attacking from the south here, while Gen is harassing them from the north, just backing off a little bit here. A few Scorpion heads coming in now. They will be moving into the field, of course, but Gen very easily going to be able to defend that. Workaround has some bikes up there, and the remainder of Workaround's Scorpions, yeah, they kind of just walked in there and they got trapped and destroyed. Not very cost effective there with that attack, trying to just keep these guys in their bases. I mean, they're doing a good job of keeping Gen and Senna on their side of the map. They simply can't get out to attack the enemy, but at the same time, Drive and Workaround are not actually doing a lot of damage here, and I just have a feeling that there's going to be a huge push at some point in time by the right-hand side team. More tanks coming in here. They're really not going to let up here. Beacon over there as well. He realizes those bikes are just going to try to go around. Workaround's going to back off. He's got Scorpion tanks to defend, battle markers over here. There's just some infantry units. Senna probably could clean those up if he really wants to. Gen will be moving across the top of the map. Another Scorp tank going down. I mean, Scorp tanks will beat by buggy, but only if they're in like numbers. And a few Hammerheads responding now. They do have rocket squads in them, but they do not have the AP ammunition upgrade. Meanwhile, he's going to come over here. Workaround does have some bike buggy to help defend off his harvesters. Gen cannot penetrate to the harvester line here, and the Scorpion tanks will come back now. Reverse moving towards the enemy, that's not a good idea, or especially when you're overlapping, that's a lot of damage. He does have Dozer Blade though. Meanwhile, Senna is starting to clear out the bottom. It looks like the blue tip has been taken. I would imagine from the left-hand side team, we can see harvesters actually moving away, so all the crystal on the left-hand side of the field is gone, so almost certainly that the Nod factions on the left-hand side have been taking that. Meanwhile, what we got up here, looks like Dozer Blades is also done for GENPeanut, and Senna is going to do a push. He's moving across. Does he have AP ammo yet? He just completed the AP ammunition upgrade. There is a SAM turret there. He takes a few volleys from it, and he's going to have to back off, and will actually lose one there, unfortunately. He's got supercharged particle, so Senna, and he does have two MCVs, because we saw a double drop then, so he's got double MCV. They're actually at the middle field. Oh my god. And SAM turret's coming down, because they're obviously aware that those Hammerheads are out and about, and they're in small numbers at the moment. They could become a problem. They're actually flying back over this bike buggy, but unfortunately the bike buggy, the shots were on cooldown there. Gen will be pushed back. Supercharged particle, just really annoying. Not terribly effective against armor, of course, but it's just something that you're just constantly under attack by. Meanwhile, Senna, oh, there goes the click. Unfortunately, only able to score one refinery there. The refs were placed fire. All those refs there are begging for a click. Another click could come down. We have double Nod. Remember, we got a Tib Chem plant here, but Drive Russian does not have a Tib Chem plant by the looks of things. He went for a Redeemer instead, so he obviously invested his tech elsewhere. Senna will be defending out the blue tip field to secure that as well. Handful of tanks. Surprising, he hasn't had a lot of units. Normally he's a very explosive player with a lot of units, but he's actually gone for just a steady balance of eco units and now tech. He's got a Marv and Juggernauts coming out as well, so he's obviously ready for this. And we have the stealth tower coming down. That's a really interesting position, because that stealth tower very easy to destroy now, and you kind of want to put it back here because the range on the stealth tower is actually quite large, and just unnecessary to lose the stealth tower by putting in a silly position. I'm not sure why Drive chose to do that. Rage Gen will go off. He could actually pop one of his own units. He will. There is a battle over here as well. It looks like Gen is moving through to try to attack Workaround's base. Workaround doesn't have the advantage of getting laser capacitors. He's going to attack the backside of Drive's Russian base here, and meanwhile the Marv is moving through. He needs to try to destroy that. He gets a nice EMP off on the Marv there. That's only a short cooldown though, so it will be back up and running very shortly. Meanwhile, Gen, we can see, is retreating up the top there. It looks like he must have chain entered because it's still EMP'd. And does he have another EMP? No, I'm not quite sure. Senna may be losing his Marv here. Meanwhile, Forces coming in. He's got more EMPs coming down. He does knock out that Sonic Minute temporarily. Gets another EMP on the Marv here. I think he may just be able to take this out, and he will destroy Senna's Marv. Unfortunately, getting a little bit greedy. Battle marker on the right-hand side here as well. Tib Core bikes coming through. Senna's having to sell everything up. He jump jets those Zone Troopers forward. We'll be able to destroy those bikes relatively easily, but unfortunately, on Zone 2 left, so he should be able to deal with that. Meanwhile, this fight is getting pretty intense in the middle here. You can see the Hammerheads now. Only a couple left. They have been just worn down. Tib Core rockets appears to be done for. Both sides have Tib Core rockets, and yeah, that will instantly just one-shot those Hammerheads there. Looks like we have Gen moving in. That's prime for a Tib Vane. He will get out. Rage Gen will go off. I don't think it affected anything. No, it did not. No Tib Vane comes down, so it looks like those units will be able to move through. He's actually going to come back through the Tiberian field again. Tib Vane could be on the cards there. We have Spectre Artillery coming out. EMP is coming down. This is a big, wide, spread out fight here. I'm trying to capture the whole thing in the same screen here, but we can see Senna's got so many Juggernauts. This is a very powerful force. He's got 7, 8 Juggernauts here, just bombarding this base head here. And he's going to have to do something about that. Drive Russian is falling back. He needs to put down nice EMP, but this is just going to slow things down a little bit. Meanwhile, getting some repairs, battle markers over here as well. We've got a few bikes moving into the base head area here. We have supercharged particle beam, and what was that over there? A tip vane did go off, but unfortunately the Juggernauts are able to weather it pretty well. 2 Juggernauts will drop. Another one gets taken out. A 4th, a 5th one. Oh my god, these Juggernauts are now starting to fall. They're falling pretty readily. There's actually 4 avatars here. These avatars are now getting shots off on these units. There's sonic emitters there, but the avatars can weather quite a few shots. We have the tanks coming in now, and they will push them back. Rage Gen goes off as well. This is insane. The Scorpion tanks are now firing at the Juggernauts here. EMP still going off. Drivers just dropping those, being really annoying. AP ammo tower line there causing some problems as well. Meanwhile, battle marker over here looks like he's still just tearing through these harvesters. No response there from the other team, and he will snipe down the engineers. There is a Redeemer here from Workaround, and most of the husks are being cleaned up as well. Double Redeemer down here. Drive still, of course, has his Redeemer. All of a sudden, Senna is in a bit of trouble, and so is GENPeanut. They're kind of burning out here. The Redeemer will be backing off. It's got double repair pad on it. Workaround has no garrisons in his Redeemer. Going to want to do something about that. Spectre artillery is still firing from the back, but it's very well mitigated. There's only like 1 or 2. If they got a double cloaking off on the Redeemer, did you guys see that there? Cloaking field came down on both Redeemers. That's just going to be really annoying. Meanwhile, did he clean this up? There's heroic bikes. Oh my god, he's going to take out an MCV with these bikes. They need to do something about that right now. Drive Russian had a structure queued, and he lost it. I hope it wasn't terribly important. Meanwhile, they're making headway on the middle. This is probably what they're concentrating on. They're too well distracted by this mid-fight that they're actually winning. Senna desperately trying to hold the line here. Rage Gen will go off as well, and the War Factory will come down. GENPeanut, unfortunately, doesn't have many tanks left here, and these tanks are fighting in this area where there's so many supercharged particle beams, there's Redeemers, there's avatars. They are going to lose this field. But look at this, GENPeanut has an expansion up here. Oh, that could be primed for a click. There's the Venom as well. That's usually what the Venom is for in these situations. Not sure what was happening over there. Battle marker comes down. No click is going to come down in here. Meanwhile, the bikes do move up to the main base, but unfortunately, he is going to lose those now. Will he lose the heroic bike? Oh, the heroic bike will escape. It will escape. There's an elite bike there as well, and he will actually be able to focus those down. Battle markers raging in the center. This fight is still going on here, and a tip vane will go down, but unfortunately these avatars, are they too badly damaged? Oh, they just sneak. No, that one will go down. That will go down. So 1 avatar will remain. He should be able to reclaim that husk. It's in an area which is relatively easy to capture. Spectre artillery again. He's got an elite Spectre. It's the only Spectre he's built. He just hasn't built any more than 1. It's actually moving forward. This is unfortunate for Drive. Yeah, it's just, I don't know what that Spectre was thinking, but he just sent it to his death there. That's very unfortunate. So Senna somehow holds here. He's got GENPeanut has these obelisks down here as well. Meanwhile, a few Scorpion tanks from Workaround will come through. A Rage Gen just went off. The team on the left-hand side is starting to win the fight in the middle there. Avatars self-destroying. Quite a few obelisks, like I mentioned before. We have laser buggies with EMP coils trying to find the Redeemers, but they are cloaked. That's going to be very difficult for them to do, especially since Nod Raider buggies do not detect stealth. Chain EMPs coming down on the obelisk, but you know what? The supercharged particle beams don't actually do a lot of damage to this. Did we see a click down here? No. Senna is coming up here as well, trying to clear out these few Scorpion tanks, which are causing them some problems. So actually, Magmine's coming down as well. That harvest is probably going to die. It's got Magmines attached to it. They will clean up the fight there. They will clean it up. So Senna and Gen are able to refine. This is why Gen is able to produce a lot of base defenses here. Getting avatars out. Should have his own Redeemer out momentarily. Yeah, here it comes. So able to just refine the top field very readily here. A few rocket squads will be able to take those Venoms down. Also, I know they will actually be overwhelmed. He tried to put them into the Hammerheads. Hammerheads unfortunately can't shoot air, and these guys have mag mines attached to them, so a lot of these harvesters will be exploding momentarily. Meanwhile, battle marker over there could be mag mines. Yeah, it is, it's mag mines again. Meanwhile, this fight is ongoing in the center. It just does not end here. These avatars actually being taken out by supercharged particle beams. You can just see there's so many here that it's just starting to eat away at the health of the avatars, and they will go down. Vapor Bomb comes down. Not really going to do a lot. The Redeemer just weathers it. I mean, it destroys tons of the Shredder types. Look at the big hole it left in the defenses here. Rage Gen will go off, and unfortunately Gen has no garrisons in the Redeemer. With a Rage Gen off, he cannot give it an order. And oh, look at that. He did not EMP his own unit there. That was tight. That was tight. He actually meant, and a chain imp will come down as well. I think Workaround realizes that he actually has a Toxin Trooper inside the Redeemer, which means Gen's going to be hard-pressed to get his Redeemer away. Look at the drafting coming down. The chain imp is coming off. Oh my god, this is great play by Drive Russian. We'll double-check that fire at the top. Not much is happening over there. Oops, I clicked on the wrong part of the map there. The imp is up, but he can't even run. He gets another imp, but he can't run because of the Toxin Trooper will slow him down to just a crawl, and the chain imp was real there. So Gen, unfortunately, gifting it away. We have 4 Spectre artillery here, so he's realized now, hang on a sec, I've got this obelisk wall, we can use artillery. Artillery will, especially Spectres, not so much Juggernauts, but Spectres will slow the fight down just because they need time to get things done. But the thing is, their range is crazy, and once you have a group of them, and you need a group for them to be effective. I mean, 4 is a very nice number, preferably 5 or 6 would be a bit better. 7 or 8 is going to be astonishingly good. Battle Mark is raging up here. Workaround moves into the enemy base here. Oh my god, he's just moving in. He's got Scorpion tanks. He's being forced to go back onto a low-tech situation, and Gen cannot really defend this area very well. We have the Venoms here, which, no, the Venoms were destroyed, so they cannot reveal the stealth, but they can still shoot at the Harvesters, which are in the dock, and Gen will move the Harvester out, but it had a mag mine on it, so it just instantly dies anyway. Meanwhile, this fight's still going on down here. Rage Gen will come down, and the Spectre artillery getting shots off on the Redeemer. The Redeemer's pretty badly damaged. He's going to want to back up there. He's going to want to be careful because there's EMP buggies here, and I think they just blind. Oh my god, they missed! They missed! It was a cloaked Redeemer. He couldn't see it, but I guess he just guessed that it was there somewhere. Meanwhile, this fight is still ongoing. What was happening back here? Not sure what's happening back there. Mag mines are just causing the radar to ping for me, so you got to watch out for that. But meanwhile, Worker Ant does have a veterancy on his Redeemer. Where is Drive Russian's Redeemer? Did I just not realize that and it went down? I'm not 100% sure what Drive Russian... He's actually losing parts of his base here, these hammerheads. There's one zone head, there's one rocket head, and he's actually losing his power grid. Workaround not going to be able to put down AA turrets very shortly. I mean, if he takes the comm center out especially, he's lost all of his power grid. It has gone down. Meanwhile, his MCV is pretty much alone. He's beaconed it now. He's only just realized this has happened because the beacon has come down. Another beacon comes down here by Drive Russian. Drive Russian realizes there is another Redeemer out. And this game... still going to keep going. Tibcore bikes will respond, Venoms will respond, and their hammerheads get destroyed there. So Workaround actually able to destroy most of those himself, but losing a lot of power infrastructure, and his MCV is now under attack. Has a laser field on it. Will take a while for those guys to be destroyed, but Tibcore bikes coming down here. There's no harvesters, so we can only assume that pretty much just trashed that area. The Senna field, there is so much destruction on the ground here, so much potholes and craters, and look at that. He will be able to defend his MCV again with the laser field on it. It just has a ridiculous amount of damage. We have Gen with his own laser venoms here, but they will lose to supercharged particle venoms if Workaround actually decided to shoot at them, but he did not, so luckily he was able to get out of that. So what's happening down here? Drive Russian here just slowing down. Look at the Tiberium on these fields over here. Drive Russian has 3 harvesters and Workaround has 4. They're actually going to, their economy, there's nothing up on the top field, even though there's Tib there. They're going to be able to continue to power through with some units with that bottom base economy here. Meanwhile, what does Gen have? Gen only has 1 harvester on this top base, quite a bit of Tiberium. They have kept their main fields dry, and these fields need to be reharvested. Only 1 harvester down, and they may have to perhaps think about resetting up their economy. Battle markers over here. Tibcore bikes from Drive Russian moving through, just ensuring that these remaining bases cannot really do anything, and he will be getting another harvester. And I think, you know what, Senna and Gen are just going to exhaust their Tiberium, not exhaust their Tiberium, exhaust their economy potential, because right now he's actually might get this MCV. There's no building block coming down, and he should be able to drop that. He will drop the MCV, which means Workaround has no build radius. The War Factory will not grant build radius, so he's just free to destroy these units, and he can probably just pop the War Factory there and then just end that. Meanwhile, the Tiberium on the center field is actually regrowing quite significantly. A lot of blue Tiberium here. Both sides, I mean, the left-hand side is able to get economy down the bottom, but the top side, Senna is in... Actually, he's got 4 harvesters. Where'd they come from? He must have transitioned some harvesters, although he does have a War Factory there. I don't think he has an MCV anymore. No, he doesn't. And these bikes just come back again and will just cease the economy down there for Gen. Meanwhile, he has to back up now here. Senna's going to have to back up to this area. What's happening down here? These guys still poking each other. No garrisons in the Redeemer here for Gen. Might want to do something about that. Workaround still has his Redeemer here as well. It is a veterancy, has got a veteran bar on it. But yeah, Drive Russian must have lost his Redeemer. I just must have missed it. unfortunately. Or maybe I saw it and just forgot about it. Battle markers raging through the center here. Looks like drivers resorted to these hit and run attacks with these bikes, and the right hand side team, Senna and Jen, are really struggling to defend against those. They're really just having a huge impact now with their ability to produce units. Rage Gen goes off, which means the EMP buggy cannot be given any orders. Slams that down with an EMP. He's got Tib Core bikes here as well. Slams it down with another EMP. He's got some EMP buggies here, but he's not attempting to EMP this here right now. He's going to lose this redeem. Another EMP just for good. And a fourth one. Oh my god, he even EMPs the buggies. Drive is off the chain here with these EMPs. Here they have just been, there's been some phenomenal EMPs all game. You really have to give it to Drive here. He's just been landing these like consistently and endlessly, and they've had a huge impact on the game, the amount of units he's been able to destroy. Senna, meanwhile, going to drive into that mag mine field, unfortunately. Mag mines will take a while to destroy these tanks, though. He's going to try to clean up this area. He's going to try to focus down the turret husk here. Not the husk, but the center bit. Meanwhile, Bike's coming up here, and Jen, I think that's his last harvester. That may be going down. Power is down, though. There's an obelisk here, but it's not in range, and Senna realizes, oh crap, I got to pull back. Predator tanks will be responding now. He drives through the mag mine field. He's just really driving through that field like there's no tomorrow. He's going to have to pull these tanks back. He can't afford to lose these 6 tanks, man. That's really all he's got left. This main area is actually still going, although yeah, Senna's MCV is actually still alive, but for how much longer is that going to be the case? We have an elite redeemer here from Worker Ant, and the artillery is coming down now. These guys actually starting to build, or Drive just has a single Spectre artillery, there's a second one there, sorry, to start working these down so he doesn't have to sit and range those obelisks. This is bad news for the right hand side team. More buildings getting sold off. Jen just left the game, so Jen has been defeated. Senna is left to fight solo. Look at the Tiberium on the map. Look at the top fields. Look at the fields on the side. There's tons of Tiberium left on this map, but neither side can really harvest it, and Senna just decided, you know what, I think that's going to be it, and he will call it for his side here. I think Drive and Worker were actually re-establishing themselves on the top left fields as well, so plenty of Tiberium to be had, but you know what, that bike harassment was just too much in the end. That really had like it was a war of attrition. The bikes just wore them down, unable to replace their losses. But the phenomenal EMP blast there from Drive Russian was just insane. So if we have a look at that one there, 21 minutes 45 seconds, pretty reasonable length there. Team 1, so the Awaken, they got 33,669. Actually got less money than, oh, actually 339,000. So there was $3,000 in it. Only $3,000 in it. So obviously Jen got tons of cash, but Senna, wow, look at that. Senna didn't really get a lot at all. So the economy evened out pretty regularly. We can see Worker and Drive pretty steady in between the other two. So the economy was the fine for both sides, but Drive just played phenomenal with the EMPs. Can't really congratulate them enough for that one there. But yeah, that was a really good game. I really hoped you all enjoyed this video. I'll do my best to bring you some more VODs. Don't forget to subscribe to my Twitch. I'm Green Zero, and I'll catch you all in the next video.